Hi everyone, I'm your MATH-JASTIN. So now that our topic for today is quadratic equation. So now when we say quadratic equation, it is a second degree polynomial equation. So now in our this lesson will be recommended to those incoming grade 9 or pwede rin sa grade 10 na kasi maaari nito ituro ulit sa grade 10, maaari. Kaya naman din magkaroon dito yung ng advanciation. So now, ibig sabihin nito, you have the second degree polynomial equation. So now, within the standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So now, this part is called the quadratic term. Quadratic term. The linear term. Then the constant term. So now in the illustration of quadratic equation is have the a, b, or c. So now, first example, we have 3x squared plus x plus 2 is equal to 0. Finding a, the a is called the quadratic term. So now, we have 3. Next, if there's no another value of x, equivalent is have number 1. So, the linear term is 1. Then, the constant term is 2. The constant is a number that the part of the algebra. So now, based on the degree, 0 is a constant or any numbers without variables. So now, x equivalent, there's a one equivalent of one exponent, but in other problems, we don't need to write 1. So now, this is called the linear term. Then the quadratic, cubic, the quartic, and the quintic. So now that's enough of that. So now let me evaluate to solve by there to have the quadratic equation. Let me have this example standard form: ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So now we are going to evaluate. So now, 3 times x squared, we are going to combine 3x squared. So now, 3 times 7 is equal to 21. Even there's no linear term, like I said, b and c are equal to 0, but a is not equal to 0. Next. Excuse me. So now, next example. X plus 7 times x plus 3. So now, x times x squared. So, 7 times 3 is equal to 21. Next, 7 times 6 is equal to x. Then, x times 3 is equal to 3x. So now, 7x plus 3x is equal to 10x. So now, by their signs. Next, how about this term? But, like I said, that quadratic equation may be equal to 0. How about this one? Is equal to negative 7. So now, transpose negative 7 to positive 7. So now, if negative 7, reminder, if this is a negative, if we transpose it becomes positive. Vice versa, if this is the positive, maybe become negative when you transpose it. So now, x squared plus 8x plus 9 plus 7 is equal to 0. So now, this is not the final answer. We are going to add 9 plus 7 because they have no variables. 16. So now, the correct answer is 8x x squared plus 8s plus 16. So now, how to identify by there? So now, let us proceed. Number 1. Find the quadratic, the linear, and the constant. Number 1. So now, we have the quadratic term is 3. So now there's no linear term or x raised to the 1 power. So now we can consider 0. Then the constant term is 21. Next. This one. So now the quadratic term is there's no whole number that is equivalent to 1. Next, the linear term is 10. Consider 10. Then plus 21. Wait, linawan natin ha. So ngayon, we have 21. Next, so now, the final answer is x squared plus 8x is equal, plus 16 is equal to 0. So now, we have x squared plus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. So now, 8, find again. So now, there's no whole number that's equivalent of 1. So now, we have 1. Next, we have the linear term is 8. Then, 16 is the constant term. So now, having this next example, how about this case? Number 4. We have x plus 2 raised to the excuse me. So now, this is a perfect square, maybe perfect square. So now, x times, this is the technique. X times x is equal to x squared. Then 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Then 2 times x, 2x times 2 is equal to 4x. So now the answer is x squared plus 4x is plus 4 is equal to 0. So now, if you are not satisfied in this technique, we have another technique. By the use of number lines, so now this is linear, this is constant, and this is the quadratic. So now we can use this sides. So now 1 plus 2 plus 1 have their factor of, this is the variable side, then this is the 2. So now x and 2. So now we are going to put this, the equation, the exponents rather, 2, 1. Sa x sana meron dito 0, pero hindi na natin para hindi tayo nalilito. Next, dito naman, simula tayo 2, 1, 0. Dapat meron dito, pero wag na, para hindi na tayo nalilito. So ngayon, ang totoo talaga dyan, meron talagang 1, pero automatic na yan. So ngayon, x times x is equal to x squared times 1, x squared again. So now, 2 times x is equal to 2x times 2 is equal to 4x. So now, 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So now, have this exponent. So 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So now, same techniques. This technique is if you are not satisfied in this computation. So now, find again the quadratic, the linear, and the constant term. So now, in my next video, I will teach the many ways of how to solve the quadratic equation by the use of factoring, extracting the square roots, the completing the squares, and then the quadratic formula. So now, before that, let me proceed in our present lesson. So now, we have only 1 if there's no whole number. Then 4 is the linear term. Then the 4 again in the constant term. So now, linisin ko lang. So now, yeah. Next, another example. Wait. So now, how about this? How about this example? So now, automatically, position the x squared, but there's no transposition because hindi naman tayo lumabas sa equal eh. So now, lagay natin dito yung x plus 4. Pero meron pa ditong x. So ngayon, ililipat natin itong x na to. Paano po ito ngayon i-add? So now, equivalent nito, para tayo nag-aano ng fraction with the same denominator. So now, we have 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Then copy the variable. Parang sa fraction lang. Pag inad natin ang parehong, the similar fraction, so now, compute their numerators and copy their denominators. So now, we have 4. Pero iba naman dito, halimbawa kung magkaiba, ganyan lang. Wala kang i-add. Kung ano yung tanong dito at wala namang posibilidad na sagot, yun lang din. So now, A, B, C. So now, find the quadratic value. So now, we have 1, then the linear term is 2, then the constant term is 4. So now, that's all. That our topic. This topic is just an illustration. So now, in my next video, I will discuss again the many ways. So now, I hope you liked my video. So now, don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you in my next video. Bye.
Okay.